I'm assuming you're recording.
Yeah, I'm recording now.
Okay. Well, since we've apparently started, let's start the fucking show.
Oh, okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to World 101 Podcast. I'm your host, Eddie V. Joining me is the Red Velvet Nordic Beast himself, the tired but lovely young. You guys know who he is, Mr. Larry Gamer.
I woke up from a nap to entertain you fuckers. Appreciate me.
In other words, she's going to take that nap again after the show.
I ain't done with it yet, Bo.
I didn't even get my Sunday nap in, so.
I spent way too much of this weekend just driving. I was driving to Grand Rapids in that bullshit yesterday, and then, it only got worse.
The weather was bad?
Oh god, it was fucking terrible, dude. Like, it was bad driving from here to Kalamazoo, and then it was worse driving from Kazoo to Grand Rapids, and then worse still at the end of the night driving from Grand Rapids back to Kazoo, to the point where we just stayed in Kazoo last night. Like, fuck this shit. I ain't driving home this late in this crap. I'm just going to bed. I'll drive home tomorrow. Fuck it. It was gnarly.
Okay.
But the show was good. So on to what we've been playing. So the show went last night. Finally got to see video games live.
Okay, I was about to say.
in Grand Rapids, Michigan. First time in the show's 15-year history that they've been to Grand Rapids. It was a phenomenal show put on by Tommy Tallarico. He's been putting the show on around the world, actually, for 15 years at this point. And they do about 50 shows a year, spend about 300 days a year on the road. And it was absolutely spectacular. And every show is a different set list, never the exact same set list twice. Tommy, actually, in the Guinness Book of Records, I did not know this, in the Guinness Book of Records for having worked on more video games than anyone else. He's had his hands in over 300 different games, in terms of working on them, namely in music, because he's been scoring video game soundtracks for 25 plus years at this point. So yeah, that's awesome. I got a giggle. I actually took a copy of Advent Rising with me to get it signed by him, because that was one of the ones that he scored, and I quite like Advent Rising for all of its flaws and problems. But he got a chuckle when I brought it out. He's like, "Holy shit, you're the one person that bought that. I know who bought this now."
And I literally laughed when you posted that, dude. I was cracking up. I'm like, wait. Because I'm trying to figure out, okay, who is this person? I'm like, that's cool, but I'm like, who is this person? And then I looked it up, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, wow. And then when you brought up Advent Rising, I fell out. I'm like, we were just talking about this game like a couple of months ago. What the heck?
Yeah, I liked Advent. Like I said, it had problems, but I still enjoyed it. And I was sad that the game never got a proper ending, because it was planned to be a 3-game run, and Majesco fell apart, and old news anyways. But dear Lord, Tommy is absolutely a personality, a character. But he puts on a great show with a lot of love and a lot of passion. And it's early, but we are actually working on getting him on the show. So,
Yay.
talking with him last night, said he would love to come on, just get in touch with them, and so we're working on getting that put together. So that'll be phenomenal. But yeah, absolutely great show last night.
Have to catch up and study and read and get ready for that interview if he comes on. And it's not because I don't know his work. Like if I look at his game list and be like, oh, he did this, he did that. When it comes to video game music, definitely for me, all I know is Japanese compositions. I really don't really know too many American compositions. Like,
Oh yeah.
So
no, he's been around for quite a while. And like I said, he still continues to plug along at Video Games Live with an absolute passion and fury. It's just absolutely infectious and contagious on stage. But yeah, that's that. Still twiddling my way through The Witness. I haven't had a whole lot of time in the last 4 days or so, 4 or 5 days to do much of anything with it, but I'm still plugging my way through it. What else did I play? I sat down and I played a little bit of War for Cybertron, because I got another copy of that again recently. And I was actually just gifted a copy of Evolve, which I'm sure, I know I'm way late to the game, and I believe I remember reading that they shut down the servers for that.
Yep.
But I'm not terribly upset, because you know what? I'm that person that liked playing Left 4 Dead by himself rather than with people anyway, so fuck it. I'm still going to have fun with it. Ha!
Well, is there AI in that game? Or
Yeah, I mean, there's, AI so you can play it single player. It's not, online only, but...
Okay.
It was built to be in a multiplayer game, same as Left 4 Dead was, but you could still play it by yourself. So I plan on at least hitting a little bit of that this coming week.
Remember that game started out as a tragedy, and we might actually talk about this party in the coming months about games that are huge, that are so hyped up. When they come out, it's such a big letdown. Like it's average, or it doesn't meet a lot of people's expectations. And I'm not really talking about much as No Man's Sky, because I think we beat that to a bloody pulp. But just like Event Rising, there was so much hope for that, expectations. Like they even did like a contest for it, and then the game came out and it was got like 6.0s and 7s, and it was kind of average.
It was buggy and it had problems. That's what held it back. Honestly, another 6 months of polish and it would have been a much better game. But, I still enjoyed the story and the presentation and the music. And, I grew up reading a lot of Orson Scott Card anyways, and it kind of made me smile a little bit, because if you know some of his more prominent work, there's some nods to that in there, as well as just in terms of the setting, there's some nods to another one of his series as well. Mm-hmm. So there are little things tossed in there that made me smile just on principle. So that's most of what I've been playing.
Was that no? That wasn't an Xbox game. That was
it was.
It was? Yeah. Okay.
That was Xbox exclusive. So.
Okay. Anything else you've been playing or doing? Or
no. I don't think so.
Ooh.
I can tell you I've definitely got something absolutely terrible in store for you for Here's the Pitch this week, though.
Oh.
I've been sitting on this one for almost a fucking week, and it's been killing me.
Okay.
I told you the premise, but dear Lord, I have not told you. I've got ideas for names for this game that are just wonderfully horrible.
Oh wow! Well, before we get into that, let me give you guys an update on what I've been playing and actually what I've been doing. on the what I've been doing front, yesterday I went to my friend's house, hung out with him, and we did a Studio Ghibli run, like 2 movies, Spirited Away, and he's never seen The Secret Life of Ariadne. But man, Spirited Away just looks still phenomenal. Like even on the big screen, just the colors and the animation, man, it just looks still so good to this very day. And while we was talking, we were just like, Studio Ghibli always do a lot of their films with nature. If it's not a girl protagonist, it's like nature, and it's always like some kind of forest that you will always see. And every movie that we was talking about, and we was looking at, it always dealt with nature. So I was so happy doing that with him yesterday night, eating Pizza Hut pizza. We were just like, let's give God the praise for the 50% online discount for all the pizzas. Dude, I paid $8.63 for my pizza, for a large at that. So I was just like, I'm going to take that blessing and keep it moving. But what I've been playing, I finished Watch Dogs 2. I had to get done with that game. I couldn't do no more of the side stuff. I'm like, I need to be done with this game. I'm still working on Rise of the Tomb Raider, making my way through that. Phoenix Wright versus Professor Layton. I'm getting through that. I'm like on the last portion of the game. I think I gotta finish a case, and then some more puzzles, and then I'll be done. My external hard drive came in, so I've been putting more games on there and playing Borderlands 2. And hopefully I'll be getting Resident Evil 7 soon. I'll be watching Assassin's Creed Tuesday, and then I'm planning to go see that Resident Evil movie, the final chapter.
I want to see Assassin's Creed. I do. I've looked at the reviews and I go, it's going to hurt. But I want to see it because I want it to be good. Because it could be good. It should have been good.
And some people are saying it's very entertaining. I think they said they know that it's problems, but if you go in and just seeing it as a movie, they said it's good. But if you expecting all the lore from the video games and thinking it's just a regular video game movie, you might not be happy about it. But I'm going on $5 Tuesday, so to go watch it, and try to form my own opinion later on. But that's what I've been playing. I'll be getting back to my Wii U, so I can do the Shovel Knight competition, and Tokyo Mirage and, Paper Mario. Cause I think I'm caught up a little bit on my Xbox One, but I need to I know I need some games I need to finish on that. And actually get through some indie games. And yes, Larry, I will finish Shadow Complex in the coming weeks.
You gotta finish Shadow Complex. You gotta finish Return to Samus. You need to, you definitely, especially considering next week, you need to get on top of some AM2R, like, right meow.
I don't have it, though.
You fucking should, because I'm pretty sure I sent it to you, and I will resend it to you as soon as we're done.
Okay.
That being said, just a reminder, next week, the AM2R crew is joining us, winners of our first ever Game of the Year award and the prestigious Golden Warp Pipe Award from Warp Podcast.
Ooh.
Eddie dropped his shit. I'm now staring at his keyboard.
Hi.
The hell'd you do?
I got happy and giddy.
This is why we're not a video podcast. That nobody wants to see this.
Maybe in the future. Maybe we'll do.
But yeah, so that's a thing happening next week. Excitedly. Oh Lord. So another thing happening, I've actually got running in the background right now. Games Done Quick, 2017.
Yeah, I know that's going on, but I haven't watched anything from that. I don't know. It just doesn't move me to watch like speed runs of games sometimes.
I've been watching a fair bit of speed runs and assorted challenge runs, and they're fascinating to me. Some of them, I've actually, and I didn't realize that this was a thing, but apparently speed runs of The Witness is a thing.
I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't be surprised.
So it intrigues me. But yeah, that's a thing. But no, I've been enjoying it thoroughly lately. I've not gotten to watch as much as I'd like to this past week either, top of playing anything, but I do need to get on top of our Plague Night run for NBC Video Game Book Club, which, shameless free plug, if you're not out there on the NBC Video Game Book Club page yet, jump on, join in. This month we're doing the Plague Night campaign from Shovel Knight. So if you own any version of Shovel Knight, you already own the Plague Night campaign because it's free, because Yacht Club Games is fucking awesome.
Yay. Is it, okay, so I had to do a video game confession. I still haven't finished Shovel Knight.
The fuck's wrong with you? Why are you even here right now? Why are you not playing it right now?
Because I got stuck playing other games. And I'm on that last level of Shovel Knight.
Which version are you playing?
I got Wii U. I actually have it on Wii U and 3DS, so I'm on the last level on Wii U, so I just need to finish it. I do literally, I was committed to playing Shovel Knight, but when we started playing it for the book club and we had Bayonetta 2, dude, I had to re-go through Bayonetta 2. Like, I had, ever since Bayonetta 2 had came out, I kept trying to unlock stuff. And then Shovel Knight came out. It was good for a good week and a half, and then other games started coming out, and it just took my time, and I just didn't return to Shovel Knight. I was playing so much, and I think that was during the time when when the game came out, I think E3 had just finished or something, or it was around that time E3 had came out. Yeah, I was literally busy and just got super occupied.
I'm seriously considering double dipping and getting it for my Xbox One just so I can play the Battletoads content.
I was thinking about that and thinking about getting the PS4 version so I could do Kratos. Do the Kratos fight.
I heard the Kratos content was not nearly as good as the Battletoads content.
Ones? Yeah.
It seems to be the consensus that if you're going to go between the two, go the Battletoads route, because apparently the Kratos stuff was disappointing.
I know I need to get Shantae and the Half Genie Hero. We actually got physical copies of it for Wii U. They just came in because we only had the physical copy for PS4. So the Wii U version is in. So I might pick it up there, and plus I got like a $15 coupon, so I might use it on there and use my discount to get it cheap. Because it comes with the soundtrack, and I kind of like the Shantae games.
Also, I think too, in the coming weeks, I think I'm gonna replay through Pegasus Prime myself. Which reminds me, I've got to get your copy in the mail so that you can go through it. Mm-hmm. I think it would be interesting to do maybe a tag team review on that, just because I've played it before. I have kind of rose-tinted glasses about the series in general, though.
Uh-huh.
And I think it would be interesting to tag a review with someone who's never played it, because it is a game that is very much a relic of its time. It's very much, 90s hypercard point-and-click adventure puzzle game. But honestly, I mean, for me, I still feel like it holds up because it still does what it's supposed to do very well. But again, I've got that history with it, and I'm curious to hear it from the viewpoint of somebody that's never, that never touched it, when it was current. And so I'm very intrigued to hear what you think. And that's another shameless future plug, is that we've got review copies and we'll be talking about it. The game is also currently already available on Good Old Games, and we'll be releasing in the coming months on Steam. And to coincide with the Steam release, we will actually have the Journeyman Project crew on the show as well.
Now, is this is the when did it originally come out?
Oh, throwback to the 90s, like mid-90s.
Okay, yeah, cause see, I wasn't doing anything PC during that time, so because I literally was still console. Okay, I've been console pretty much my whole life. So playing this on PC is going to be very new for me because it is the original version, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it's, it is just that. It is a copy of Pegasus Prime, which the original release didn't get real big here in the States because when it first came out, Pegasus Prime being a rework or a remake of the original Journeyman Project game that they did to kind of bring the original story, a telling of the original story up to snuff or up to par with the sequel that had just come out as well. I was going somewhere with this. Oh, yeah. So that's my sleep deprived brain for you today. But in any case, the original Pegasus Prime came out in the States only on Mac. And so it's like, the one platform that you're not expecting anything games-wise, and it never got a PC release until a couple of years ago when the series got a release on Good Old Games. So that was my first opportunity to actually play it, but I had played the actual original when the actual original Journeyman Project game came out. And, I played through 2 and I played through 3, and I loved every bit of all of them. But I never got to play Pegasus Prime until it came out on Good Old Games.
Now, was this like an indie release, or were they a big company when it came out?
Presto was a sizable company. One of the other very large titles that they had their hands on and involved with was actually Myst 3.
Whoa. Ooh. Because, see, Myst I heard of. The Myst series I did hear of.
Yeah, they were strongly involved with Myst 3. They had a few other things, but the Journeyman series was really their legacy, if you will. And a terrible pun. But anyways.
It was their original IP, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Because when you mentioned Myst 3, I was just thinking that they helped make the game, like helped develop it. That's what it sounds like, that they helped to develop it.
Right. But yeah, that's a little history on Presto Studios, which, like I said, Presto Studios has long since closed its doors, but the fine folks behind the Journeyman Project series, though, have somehow managed to apparently retain enough rights to be able to re-release the series on some more current platforms like Good Old Games and Steam.
Well, I always wondered. We understand, like with THQ, they had to sell their properties off. Like,
yeah, they sold off all their
IPs. Like, what happens when a studio closes and they don't sell off their IPs?
Yeah, and I think that's going to be a great question to bring up with some of them when they're on in the coming months. So I have every intention of diving into that along with a few other things. So
yeah, because it seems that since you mentioned like point and click kind of games, it kind of makes me think of the Telltale games, those kind of venture games that they make now. A lot of those have become popular again.
Well, and Telltale does something a lot different than classic point and click.
Yes.
Classic point and click was primarily about obscure logic puzzles versus, Telltale is very story and dialogue and choice driven. Yeah. That's a big fundamental difference. And I think that's why the Telltale games have done so well versus the point and clicks of old, where it wasn't a case of like now with the Telltale stuff, there's kind of no wrong answer. There's just an answer, and then you see what happens from there. Versus, the old days with Myst and Journeyman and Neverhood and things of that ilk.
Larry is it Larry Suit Leisure Suit Larry?
Yeah, but these were games where there was absolutely a right and a wrong answer, and if you didn't have the fucking right answer, you weren't going to get anywhere.
Ah, okay. All right. Yeah, I'm very interested to see and go through that. Spend more time with that game when I receive it.
Another good one to get into if you want to dig into that piece of that time period of history. Going back further, was The Dig. The Dig was fantastic.
Now, I never heard of The Dig.
Oh, dear God. Find it. Get it. Play it. The story was just phenomenal.
Well, is it a comedy or is it kind of like straight?
Oh, no. It's a sci-fi.
Oh, sci-fi.
Point-and-click adventure game with just a brilliant story. Well told, actually. But it looks very, very dated because just visually it is an old game.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking of
nothing else. Find like a let's play of it.
Okay. When you talk about point and click adventures, Snatcher always comes to mind. Snatcher and Hotel Dusk are the only two games that come to mind that does with point and click adventures.
Hotel Dusk is kind of there. I think maybe a better equivalent would have been like Trace Memory.
But the people who made Trace Memory made Hotel Dusk.
Yeah. I think Trace Memory was far more clever, though.
I still need to play that. Every time I look at it, or people talk about it, it's just like, maybe I think after playing Hotel Dusk, I kind of want to go back and play it now. Because that was a genre that I didn't get into, and I really never known. Like point and click, it was associated with PC, and so because I wasn't into PC, like I've never ventured that genre of games.
Also, some of the more contemporary-ish ones that fall into that category. A wonderful gem on the Wii was Zack and Wiki.
Oh, I have Zack and Wiki.
Yeah, Zack and Wiki felt very much like the modernization of point and click to me. And obviously Zack and Wiki happened before, Telltale got its hands into everything. But yeah, Zack and Wiki and Hotel Dusk and Trace Memory, I think, are some of the more brilliant modernizations of that genre.
It's not point and click. And I have to look it up. Ghost Story or Ghost Hunter. It was a Capcom game. It was Ghost something. And he was in the red outfit. And he had that big yellow hair. Ghost Trick. That's what it was.
Okay.
Ghost Trick. I love that game so much. That art style, they got it perfect. Like they called it not Mad Max. And I cannot think of what style that is. I know it's an old school style, but it's somewhat point and click, but it's more of a logic puzzle. It has more of a cause and effect. Like you have to set everything up, and then at points of time, you'll let it happen, and it'll affect something. So it was kind of like you set it up, and it's treated as a puzzle, and whatever happens, you'll get through the game. If you mess up, you pretty much got to start over and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, Ghost Trick was a phenomenal game, and not many people brought it. But it was such a good DS game. Like it was the one that I brought the day it came out, because I was into the Phoenix Wright games.
Okay. there was actually another series that just popped into my head too. The original was on the PS1, and there was a follow-up on the PS2. It was called Echo Knight, and the sequel on PS2 was Echo Knight Beyond.
I heard of that. Yeah.
I will forever love the beginning of Echo Knight Beyond. It is just gorgeous and haunting and so moodily atmospheric. But that's another one worth taking a peek at.
But it's hard to find. It literally, I don't know if it was a limited run or anything, but that thing is hard to find.
Yeah, I mean this was not a large title by any means. It's definitely a little more on the peculiar side, but yeah, wow, we totally just went in a deep direction on point and clicks and had exactly zero premeditated intention of this.
Well, because I think point and click is a genre that's been kind of forgotten, and
I don't think it's forgotten, but I do think it's definitely evolved.
Yes,
and that's for such a for such a genre that's so much a product of its time. Where so many of these games are not all that contemporary friendly, if you will. It's impressive that genre has continued to exist through this new evolution of by means of pushing the dialogue dynamic like Telltale has.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think when they
go back to it, but they are like the prime example.
Well, you kind of got to remember that point and click, like I said earlier, was on PC, and now that some of the games that take that style and that design and made available for console and handheld, I think it opened up to people to that genre. Because if you weren't back in the 90s or even 80s, like if you didn't have a PC, you didn't know nothing about point and click. Like you weren't buying like PC Gamer or anything that did about anything with PC. You would quickly buy GamePro or Electronic Gaming Monthly and know what the latest NES or Sega Master System game, because those systems were more available. And even like I think in the 90s, the PC race was still kind of like very niche or very limited. So there, and at that time it's still kind of divided. Now we're at a point in time where if you want point and click, yeah, you got good old games, you got Steam, but you also got some games that have that genre and have that design that's on consoles and that's on handheld that you can really experience. Now, depending on if the game is good or not, at least that genre is still on that system that you could play and that you could learn to see if you like it or not.
Yeah, and tragically, there's still a lot of really good point and click games that are missing from those contemporary libraries. A personal favorite, and I've talked about it before, this past summer was the Neverhood, and that's still not available on GOG or Steam or really anywhere at this point for download. If you want to play it, you've got to get your hands on an original copy. It's tough to do that. The going on that game is salty. Last I looked, it was probably no less than $60-$70.
Unless you go to a thrift store and find it for $2.
Yeah, you can about be sure that shit ain't happening.
Well, shoot. Well, depending on your environment or your area, like if you know there's not many PC people and they were just getting rid of stuff, because there are some parents who would just get rid of stuff that their kids don't take home and stuff. If you happen to find a copy and it's like $2 or $5, I say snag it. Like, don't even give it no thought.
Yeah, and that's one thing. Unfortunately, we don't have a whole lot of that around here, truth be told, which sucks, but it is what it is.
Shoot.
So,
I still need to start doing some garage sales to see if there's any games and stuff available.
Yeah, garage sales around here all suck too. There's never anything for games.
I think that's for a lot of places.
Yeah, you'll have that. But in any case, good Lord, what else is going on?
Well, let's hear your pitch, because you've been on pins and needles about giving the pitch, and then we'll end it with Switch predictions, because that's going to probably be short. Like, we probably don't have much to say about it until it happens. But I want to hear your pitch.
You know, there's probably so much that we've already gone on about that at this point, anything that we talk about here tonight is probably just going to retread some old ground. So we'll make short work of it and be done. Yeah. But, so yeah, here's the pitch. I had a terrible, terrible idea this week, and I could not stop myself from laughing about it, though. I want a game, and this stemmed from the fact when my wife was pregnant, I would make jokes that it eventually, sooner or later, that the baby was just going to, like, pop out of her vagina and, like, just swing from the umbilical cord between her legs, Tarzan style. Like, it was just a trap door waiting to give out, and there would be the child. And so I want a game where it's 4-player, you know, almost like Hungry Hippos. Everyone is, you know, stationed at a fixed point, and your viewpoint is literally just a pair of legs on the outside of your screen there, and as the match opens, the fetuses drop down, rappelling down on umbilical cords out of the pregnant women standing around in a circle, and they're rappelling down commando style, like they've got the tactical gear and everything. They drop down and hit the bottom of the cord, and you've got to get them to swing back to a table behind them, and everyone's table behind them has scissors, and so the little bastard babies are swinging back and grabbing the scissors, and then it's your job, it's your mission to swing in at the other little fetuses and try and snip their umbilical cords and get them to fall down and wither away and die and be the last one standing, and it'd be hilarious just because it's so awful. But yeah, I was torn on what I should call this, and I was like, you know, we could have Vaginal Avengers, or you know, we could just go straight for the on the nose, and we could just call it Infanticide.
No, I don't think that will work. The gameplay game idea will work, but not. We'll have to work on the title. No,
there's got to be something for it. But this, I think Adrian was right. By the way, there's got to be a market for this. I think Edmund McMillan is the man to tackle this shit.
Well, they'll bring a new name to Swingers. Shoot. Yeah.
God, I had a third name for this, and it's now left my brain. But yeah, those were the two that stuck out to me. You know, we can either have you know, Vaginal Avengers or Vaginal Vengeance, or, you know, just straight up call it Infanticide.
Well, Vaginal Avengers sound like a beat 'em up or something. You know, like a comic book that, you know, or something. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm helping you trying to find a name for a game like this. That's insane.
No, I mean, you know, the more I think about it, the more this idea tags back to an old 80s game in my head, because I keep thinking about that old game, Warlords.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You know, I can see it. It's there in my brain. The connection's there, and it won't go away now.
Baby Wars. War babies.
Oh my Birth goodness. Canal Commandos.
What'd you say?
Birth Canal Commandos.
Yes! That's it! I love that! I love it!
So yeah, that's my terrible, horrible idea. And I'm sure I've just made somebody vomit from the idea.
We'll cut off the podcast. Birth Canal Commandos. I love that right there.
Oh, God. But yeah, like I said, you've got little fetuses in full tactical gear, and it'd be awesome. I'm far too excited for this. Way more excited than I have any right to be about this idea.
Birth Canal Commandos. That's a good one. That's the title right there. I like that one.
I'm feeling like there should be an extended mode where if like you get skipped, you know, that you can still fall down to the ground, and maybe there's like stuff on the ground that you can throw at the other little fetuses, try and screw with them, even though you're out of the game.
If you fall onto a pamper or something.
Yeah, there you go. You know, in order to continue to the next round, if you get snipped, you have to make it and crawl to the delivering attending physician and get that, you know, first smack on the ass. Your fetus actually starts crying and breathing on its own. Otherwise, you're dropped out of the next round for. I don't know. There's got to be something there. Edmund, get on it. Make it happen. Birth Canal Commandos.
You have hit the mother load on this one. So, oh my goodness. So,
it's officially gone too far.
Well. Look, there'll be more times, so don't worry. But for our last part, we're just going to talk a little bit about the Switch presentation. And these are just predictions on what we're going to, hope to see. So I'm going to keep it probably, 3 points between each of us. So you get 3, Larry, and I get 3. And what would you like to see? And
okay, what I'd like to see and what I expect to see are two very different things. Let's be real here.
Yes, but you know what? Let's go with like.
What I'd like to see more Switch original games than ports and remasters inside of the first year.
Okay.
That's going to be a big thing, because if all we get are ports and remasters, there's going to be a fucking problem. Because there was a lot of that happened on the Wii U, and clearly that did not work so well. Well, so let's repeat that mistake.
That happened for PS4 and Xbox One. That it was a lot of ports and remakes.
Yeah, I don't know. I got a bad gut feeling about it. Beyond that, I want to see some love for F-Zero and Metroid. I miss them. Come back to me. Other than that, I want a respectable battery life. That's my last thing that I want to see.
About 5 hours?
I want to see a better than 5-hour battery life. If you can pull 6 hours, I'll be quite thrilled.
Well,
that'll be most of my day at work.
Do you think that there's going to be adapters for it?
I'm sure there will, but it doesn't mean that I necessarily want to, lug one around.
Okay. And finally, what did you expect the price to be? What would you like the price to be, I should say?
What I expect out of the reveal is, I'm torn because part of me thinks that they're going to be stupid and do 2 different price points / bundles, and I think it's a terrible idea. Please don't. Just one SKU. One SKU. That's it. I want to see one SKU at. I'm going to say it's $299. It just something about it feels right. The only way it goes higher than $299 is if it comes bundled with something.
Yeah, because that's what I'm thinking of. $349.
But at that point, I don't know what they bundle it with, because it's sure as shit not going to be Zelda. Which brings me to the other thing is, I'm kind of I'm almost dead split on whether or not I expect Zelda to be launch. If it's not launch, it can't be more than 6 months behind. There's no way.
I would say
their expectation is that this thing launches on a fucking Sunday, as always.
I say that if they're going to bundle it, I say bundle it like party with like Splatoon.
Splatoon would be a great pack-in for that.
Yeah, that's what I think it would be great because a lot of people really liked the Splatoon Wii U when it came out.
I did. I think it's phenomenal. I
Yeah.
love Splatoon. That was a brilliant game, and I am seriously excited to see them continue that series. I don't just want a port of it on Switch. I want a new Splatoon on Switch.
Oh, you'll get one. I think
I hope so.
I think 2018 will. I think hopefully they announce something this year, and I think or 2018 they announce something for Splatoon 2 or something like that. Well,
I'm going to add my wants, by the way, just for a second. I'm going to add to my wants. I want a solid Virtual Console lineup out of the gate. Make it happen. I want a solid VC lineup at launch.
like 10, 15 titles.
Give me 20. Bare minimum. 20.
20.
Because then there's something for everybody.
Yeah, we shall see. But is that all on day one, or just like over the coming months? Or
I want 20 games ready to roll on VC at day one.
Day one.
It should not be that hard.
Do you think that they should move VC to Fridays? That way that
I don't care what day it's on.
well
Don't let it dwindle and die.
I mean because Nintendo released a lot of their products on Fridays. So if they're coming out the gate with Switch being on a Friday, they should do virtual.
I still think it's going to be a Sunday.
I think it's going to be a Friday.
They do all their major releases on Sundays.
Right, but they switched it now to Fridays.
Yeah.
Yeah. They decided
I think if they do launch on a Friday, it'll be way better for them.
Oh yeah. That's what they're expecting. They're expecting everybody to come in and buy the system on a Friday. Like, cause it would be smart to me personally. It would be smart to find out jobs who have the 2-week cycle of when they get paid, to release it on a Friday that they get paid on like that time. That way that people who got their tax return or people who've been saving up or people who actually got paid that day and that could actually buy the system, that'd be like a great day for people to go and buy it.
Yep. But in any case, hit me with your wants and your realistic expectations.
This is my 3 predictions. My 3 predictions is that for a price, I think it's going to be $349. I think it's going to be everything. Probably a memory card, maybe like a micro M memory card, and it's probably going to have a pack-in game. And like I said, I hope it's Splatoon. Of course, there's going to be ports and stuff, but I really want Capcom to bring DMC, a Devil May Cry game, to Switch. Like, I want Capcom to lock in with Nintendo to bring some exclusive games to that system, because they've been making money off that Luigi Mansion Arcade game, and they barely been making money off of any other system. So I think they need to get with Nintendo, just be like, guess what? Yeah, you guys got Bayonetta 2 from Sega and Platinum. We're going to give you guys Devil May Cry for a Switch exclusively. Like, Nintendo needs to go and get that. Like get those action titles. Heck, Bayonetta 3 I would love to see. I would love to see GameCube actually, if it's true, I would love GameCube to be part of the Retro Console, and Super Mario Sunshine, I would love to play that on the go. I would love to have that.
We've got to talk about this too. Speaking of GameCube and Virtual Console, I'm sure you saw there have been some purported or supposed leaks that Beyond Good and Evil 2 will be coming to Switch.
It's been talked about. I know they've been working on it, but they didn't make it official.
I know it's not official yet, but at this point,
It just makes sense to
think
do
would
it.
be phenomenal, and it's been cycling around enough, and from the right people, I think there might be some merit to it.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think that would be something brilliant to be able to show on the 12th when everything goes live, and they're talking about what's coming for this thing lineup wise.
if Nintendo, if that is true, and Nintendo gets it, I mean, because I think it's gonna be still multi-platform. I think having it on Switch would be a good thing because it would be awesome to take it, and hopefully the system has the camera, so you could do pictures and stuff, and that would be so cool to implement that into good, Beyond Good and Evil. Like,
But see, I could not let this discussion go without bringing up that.
well,
So,
I know we're getting Rhyme. Rhyme is coming to the Switch, and
yeah.
that
As a matter of fact, that actually just came up in a conversation with a friend of mine earlier today. She had sent me a trailer for Rhyme on the back of a conversation that her and I had about The Witness.
Yeah. Well, I don't know when Rhyme is coming out, but I know they did say they have the people who are making it. They did officially say that it is coming to Switch. So
Yep.
that's good that they're getting a lot of good indie support. My expectation is hopefully third party does not drop the system. And in order for a third party not to drop the system, it's not going to be because of us not buying the games. They're going to have to give us full support and full package of games that they do with PS4 or Xbox One. They're just going to have to do that because that's why a lot of people weren't buying the games on the Wii U because they was it felt like 54%, well 45% of the content that should have been in the game wasn't there.
Yeah.
So I mean, if they're gonna, and I'm not even mad about them bringing Mass Effect Andromeda because I'm like, their game is too big, and I don't need it to be on my Nintendo Switch when I got a big game like The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild on it. Like I'll probably get more out of Breath of the Wild than I will get for Mass Effect Andromeda. And who knows if that game's gonna come broken with a 15-gigabyte patch on day one. So yeah. So I rather have of Mass Effect Andromeda do comes to Switch. I would rather have it be a complete edition. Let it come out 2018, and let it be a full DLC. Let it be all the updates. And if they could fit into that one cartridge, I'm good to go. Last but not least, just like you, Larry, hope F-Zero and hope Metroid come to Switch, which I think Metroid will come. But I really hope that they team up with Namco and they bring that F-Zero.
I'm still not on board with Namco. I still want Sega to come back and do it again.
I think Sega has to restructure, and I think Sega has to get back into the black for them to be able to do that. Now, don't get me wrong.
On the right track with Sonic Mania, though.
That is true. I would love a Sega Sonic Transform All-Star, or I think was this Sonic All-Star Transform? I think that's it.
That racing game.
Yeah, I would like a part 2. I would like a part 2 on Switch. If they're gonna do a F-Zero, Sega, and they team up with Sega has to bring it. Sega literally has to bring it. My thing,
Sega needs to make sure they find all the people that worked on GX and drag their asses back in the office.
Dude, I would do this. I would see if anyone who left Criterion, if anyone who has left them, snag them up. If I was Sega, I would snag folks up from Criterion and intermingle. Get with the people like you said with GX and go at it. Like, bring us those tracks, bring us that design. Make sure that you bring us that difficulty. Don't punk out on us. That difficulty makes us want to learn the game and be the best at it. Don't ease it down. Like Fire Emblem, you can ease down because permadeath, that was something that we weren't used to. F-Zero makes us work hard to become number one. That brings up the replayability.
F-Zero's hard, but it is not by any means unfairly hard.
Right.
It's just demanding. So, but in any case.
Yeah, and that, like I said, and that brings up the replayability. Is that difficulty. Because you want to get better at it. So,
and I think I might need to play a couple laps of something F-Zero GX this week too now just to get it out of my system. But in any case, I think that about wraps for us.
One last thing. They got to do Twitch. They got to do a streaming service for the system. I would love for that to happen.
Do you think we see? Do you think we're going to see Twitch inclusion?
If not Nintendo, if Nintendo even has their own Twitch stream system, I would be down for that if they want to control it. But if they get with Twitch and be like, okay, we understand if you guys want to stream our games and stuff, we'll be fine with that. And if they don't have it, people will find ways around it. But I think now streaming has become more available, and since it's on the other platforms, it would be good to watch some people play some games. Now, my thing would be if Nintendo is going to, allow Twitch to stream their games and people use microphones, I think hopefully there might be some censorship things. Or if Twitch should be like, if you guys gonna do this stuff on Mario and cuss and stuff, where kids who want to watch this, you guys would be banned from streaming. I think they're gonna have probably put some restrictions on some Nintendo games. I think third-party games would be fine, but if they're gonna do Nintendo games, I feel like there needs to be some restrictions.
Maybe somehow getting Twitch to add an age gate.
Yeah.
That could be a functional option. That can't be that difficult to do, but I think that's about it for us. Plug your shit.
You guys can find me. Well, you guys can email the show World11Podcast at world11podcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter at world1_1 podcast. Larry, he also has the World War One podcast, where you can watch his Twitch stream. You can watch my Twitch stream on the Lyrical One. I also do a podcast called Optional Opinion, which you can find on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, and the AnomalousRadioNetwork.podbean.com. If you're listening to this episode, I just did an episode called "Is Death Good for Video Games?" So you guys can check that out. I'm getting ready for not this coming week, but next week, I'll be ready to be releasing my, girl themed video games blog, feature for, this month. So you guys will be able to check that out. Check me out on Podblock on DNA, network.net and DNA Network on YouTube. Also a part of Team Nerd, where I do podcast Connected. We just reached 100 subscribers, so we thank you guys. Anything else? I'll be returning this week to SkirmishFrogs.com. That's SkirmishFrogs.com for the moment. I'll be returning to that. So check that Wednesday. This Thursday, it's going to be a smorgasbord of information about, Nintendo Switch. We'll be posting times of when it goes live, or if you check it. I gotta see on how we're going to record that. And I got to see how many people just want to do a full overblown chat, if there's going to be different messages, or just seeing how that's going to go. But we'll let you guys know on the forum and on the World 1-1 official podcast page. So do check that out, and do join us on our forum, and do join us on our podcast page. I did post a question of, would you guys like us to do another movie commentary due to the fact that Resident Evil the final chapter is coming out? And your wife suggested Mortal Kombat.
I'm going to be totally honest, I really don't want to do another one.
Oh no!
I don't know, I didn't feel it. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But in any case.
Well, we haven't did one in a while since the Mario one. And I was just thinking of it. We don't have to do it sometime in like right now. We could do it sometime in the future. That's why I just posted it. Like, should we do one? And because the only reason I was thinking of Resident Evil, because of the Resident Evil final chapter movie coming out. But
all right.
We'll see. I mean, or like, cause your wife did say she would join us to do Mortal Kombat, Man Island.
Of course she would. You can find me on our Facebook page. We have that wonderful new Facebook page. It's not the liveliest yet, but it's getting there. So hit us up, World 1-1 Podcast. Like the page, get our content in your feed. Easy as that. Join the conversation out on the forums page. Hit request, join the group, have some fun, post some stupid shit. Other than that, NVC Video Game Book Club, join us. We are doing Plague Knight campaign from Shovel Knight for Game of the Month. I'm going to yell at Adrian, though, because it's not a game, that's DLC. Yeah, I got nitpicky. Shut up. Other than that, we've got the bonus episode coming up middle of the week with the Nintendo Switch info dump, for lack of a better term at this point. And then next week, of course, we have Milton, Dr. M64, and Steve Sabra 230 from AM2R joining us, talking about some stuff that has not yet really been out there. I know Steve definitely said he had some things that he wanted to put out there in light of the post-mortem of the release of AM2R now. So we're proud to have the winners of our first ever Golden Warp Pipe Award Game of the Year join us on the air. That'll be next Monday. You can catch that. Other than that, other things to look forward to in the coming months. Tommy Tallarico, the Journeyman Project Gang, and working on several others. So that's it. We're on the Facebook page. You can find us out on archive.org, SoundCloud. At this point, I'm just about ready to launch the YouTube thing, whether everything is exactly right or not. I'm about ready to just say fuck it and hit go. So that'll probably be coming in the next week as well. So that's a thing. And I think we'll even start posting episodes just direct on the Facebook page too. So if you want to just, put that on your Facebook feed and get it that way, we'll make it that much easier for you to boot. So that's a thing. More ways to get the content that you hate from us. So yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Oh, and Larry, if someone could make a box copy of Larry's Here's the Pitch for this episode, we would love for you to post it on the forum. So, but with that,
the one thing that we've asked for artwork for that actually doesn't get artwork, because we've asked for artwork for other shit and not seen a damn.
You want your
please, dear God, do not post. Secretly, I do kind of want this. Never mind. Just if it happens, you'll somehow make my day.
And we still need our Fetish Night artwork, so please make that happen.
Full tactical fetus gear. Fuck yeah.
And with that, everybody, have a great week, have a great weekend, and we will see you next week. And definitely, you guys
later this week. Shut up.
Well, they will see us definitely this week for the bonus episode, but a full episode we'll have once again next Sunday with our special guest. So thank you, everybody, and have a great week. Have a great weekend, and we are out. Bye.